केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Newshour Special Edition this Sunday evening, where we debate two of the biggest issues of the day. Our first debate is on whether Sanatan has become an easy target. Opposition MPs including Rahul Gandhi staged a skit in Parliament showing a priest as a thief and claimed political vendetta when booked. But who should answer? Did the opposition insult Sanatan, or did the BJP open the gates for it with the embezzlement fiasco? Our second debate is on the opposition suddenly stunned into silence. First in Punjab and now in Jharkhand. Massive student protests, but no word from the opposition on the students' rights. Are there demands and backing of students based on who's in power in the state? That's our second debate. But let's begin with the political storm over the Ram Mandir Chanda Chori skit that has escalated into a legal battle. An FIR has been registered in Varanasi against Rahul Gandhi, the independent MP Pappu Yadav and the Samajwadi Party MP Avdesh Prasad over their satirical performance inside the Parliament complex. Now, this complaint filed by Seers alleges the skit insulted Sanatan Dharm and hurt religious sentiments. The BJP has termed it a mockery of Sanatan culture and is now demanding strict action. The opposition, though, maintains that it was a protest over the alleged Ram Mandir donation scam. And the opposition says that raising the issue cannot be treated as a crime. The fallout of the Chanda Chori skit was also witnessed today when independent MP Pappu Yadav was targeted during a press briefing in Delhi. A man hurled a shoe at him, triggering a scuffle. But the question is, who is insulting Sanatan Dharm?
और ये FIR किस पे लिखा रहे हैं अभी? समाजवादियों पर, विपक्ष के लोगों पर, पप्पू यादव पर, अवधेश जी पर, कांग्रेस पार्टी के नेता उन पर। तो FIR इंटर क्यों नहीं हुई जिन्होंने हनुमान जी को इस तरीके से पेश किया था? उन्हें मजबूर किया, उनकी डिलीवरी का मजाक उड़ाया उन्होंने। उनका इसी से जीवन यापन होता है। समाजवादी सरकार बनने पर इन कलाकारों को सम्मान दिया जाएगा।
पूरी मर्यादा में किसी व्यक्ति को कोई गाली तो नहीं है, किसी साधु का नाम तो नहीं लिया। सनातन की रक्षा और इस भारत के 100 करोड़ के आशा के लिए हम 1 लाख में कुर्बान हो। हमारे नेता राहुल गांधी को बोलने ही नहीं देता है, बाहर में बच्चों को गोली चलाता है। हमको मालूम, मेरे बच्चों को मत देखना।
मैं यही कहता कि भाजपा में सब चंदा चोर, लेकिन जितने चंदा चोर हैं सारे भाजपा में। तो भाजपा अगले चुनाव में इस जवाबदेही से बच नहीं पाएगी। जिनकी आस्था है मंदिर में, वो करारा जवाब देंगे। इस वजह से कि जितने चंदा चोर हैं सब भाजपा में।
राम मंदिर चोरी का मुद्दा उठाना यह अपराध है क्या? चोरी किसने की? बीजेपी के लोगों ने की। 1400 करोड़ का घोटाला हुआ है राम मंदिर में, और हमने ये मुद्दा उठाया संसद में और संसद के बाहर, तो हमारे ऊपर FIR लगाता है। शर्म नहीं आती है लोगों को? ये राम लुटेरे हैं, राम को लूट रहे हैं।
Now the question is there a line between a legitimate political protest against alleged corruption and insult to religious sentiments? And is this in line with the opposition's sustained attacks on Saffron and Sanatan with impunity? Or should questions of accountability be raised on the BJP instead? Let's open this up. Joining us in the debate tonight, Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, Ratan Sharda, author, and Nikhil Jain, political analyst, Pooja Mishra, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and we have Advocate Vandana Sinha, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, joining us. Thank you all for joining us. I'll begin with Nikhil Jain on what you thought of this skit. Now, a case has been registered, FIR has been filed against. Was it necessary? Now, the opposition has for the longest time been raising the issue of Ram Mandir embezzlement. But was it necessary to show a skit where you show the Pandit as the chore, all of it happening in the parliament?
Prathibha, I don't really understand how is it showing a Pandit as a chore. It is showing a man pretending to be a religious figure, taking money in the name of a temple donation and then running away with it. That is exactly what has happened in Ram Mandir, wherein people pretending to be the biggest defenders of the Hindu faith were actually embezzling funds from what was donated to the temple. Now, if you ask me whether it was necessary, certainly no, it was not necessary. A skit wasn't necessary. It is not at all necessary for the opposition to raise this issue in the parliament. It is not necessary for the opposition to raise this issue on the streets. It is not necessary for the opposition to say anything. It is not necessary for the opposition to exist. It is not necessary for anything. The BJP can exist, Modi ji can exist, Yogi can exist, VHP can exist. They can keep on stealing money from Ram Mandir. They can keep on denying that Chanda Chori happened. They can keep on beating up the students. They can keep on firing at the students. They can keep on denying that no firing was done. And nothing is necessary. Nobody needs to ask any question.
The opposition was only trying to raise the issue of embezzlement in Ram Mandir or the Ram Mandir Chori. But this skit, do you say that it crossed the line? That's the question. Because the BJP is calling it a Sanatan insult. And you would agree with me that such leeway is not taken with any other religion, as it shouldn't. Why is it that it's become so easy, even in the parliament, even outside, to insult Sanatan?
Prathibha, first of all, this is in no means an insult to Sanatan, number one. Number two, the reason no leeway is taken like this with any other faith is because, unfortunately, that sort of embezzlement is only happening at the hands of the Sangh Parivar in Hindu institutions. I don't see the RSS stealing money from masjids or churches or synagogues or gurdwaras or Jain temples. Had they been doing that, I'm sure somebody in the opposition would have done a skit like this. Fact of the matter is that a section of the society, basically the BJP supporters, are more appalled with the skit that the opposition is doing to bring to light Chanda Chori in the Ram Mandir than they were appalled with the Chanda Chori in the Ram Mandir. More people are appalled with a reaction, with an expression to wrongdoings than the wrongdoing itself. And one strong objection, Prathibha, I'd like to take. You say in a fallout of this skit, Pappu Yadav has been targeted with a shoe hurling incident. So if tomorrow somebody comes and shoots, God forbid, this does not happen. God forbid.
Any sort of violence is unacceptable. That is being maintained right from the beginning. This is the claim he has made. This is a claim Pappu Yadav has made. He says that because of that he has been targeted. He says because of these allegations against him he has been targeted. And he also says that this was an attempt at life. He says that the man also had a knife. Now that kind of violence is unacceptable. There's no doubt about it. And we have spoken about it. It is being condemned. We have a reaction from Akhilesh Yadav also on that. But the question again comes back to the skit in itself. You're saying that there is nothing wrong with the saffron robes. You're saying that it does not villainize anything in particular. Saffron robe just happened to be a coincidence. Is that what you're saying, or you just wanted to show that it was a Hindu person who was given the responsibility of ensuring that Ram Mandir donation is kept and he was running away with it, that there's nothing offensive with it? I take your point. Let me take this across to Tuhin Sinha, because Tuhin, the opposition is also saying this, that instead of finding offense on a skit in the parliament, the BJP should be more offended about the fact that this is a mandir that is revered by people across the country and the world. And Chori is going on, not enough has been done. That's where the anger should be directed, not towards the skit.
Good evening, Prathibha. Good evening, everybody. You know, Congress Party and Samajwadi Party are guilty of compulsive Hindu phobia. When in power, they preside over the killing of sadhus and shraddhalus, like the Congress Party did the cow protection Andolan in 1966, when 7 people were killed outside Parliament, and Samajwadi Party in 1990 for car seva. But when they are out of power, they kill the dignity and self-respect of sadhus. My simple question: you know, the investigation is on. SIT has been doing a reasonably good job. Supreme Court has been monitoring the entire investigation. Has one sadhu been named? The people involved in this entire act are contractual employees who have nothing to do with the sadhus. In fact, the sadhus are the ones who are most incensed. Number two, during the cheap, gimmicks which these people were resorting to, the picture of Bhagwan Ram, you can see the picture fell on the ground, and very carelessly, not one of them had the basic decency, had the basic sense to, pick it up and to place it in the right position. So this is the reality of these parties. But why are we surprised? In the last 4 days of Parliament, the Congress has employed at least 4 innuendos, anti-Hindu innuendos without any reason. All of a sudden, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra calls the IIT Madras director, Gaumutra specialist. Then Kharge takes a jibe at Manusmriti, again, on a completely unrelated debate. Number 3, Priyanka Gandhi has a problem with saffron. And number 4, you saw what they did outside Parliament. Now, my larger point is Congress is afflicted with the Wayanad syndrome. I can understand, that in Wayanad they have reduced themselves to being a clone of IUML. But that is not how the Delhi government, that is not how the national government would be run. And I think they need to realize this. They better realize this. They should not take chances with Hindu sentiments. And I also condemn if a slipper has been thrown at Pappu Yadav, that is not the way to deal with it. But, the anger of the people across the country is genuine. If they continue hurting Hindu sentiments, they will face the wrath of the people.
Okay. So, Nikhil, the point being that the reason why there is an objection to it is not just about this skit, because there have been repeat offences previously as well, when you have a party that is being questioned over the fact that it coined the term saffron terror. Then you have Mallikarjun Kharge recently mentioning Manusmriti. Then you have a Siddaramaiah, the former chief minister, saying, when I see Tika on somebody, then I feel scared. These are statements because of which the opposition has faced criticism previously as well, of having a certain saffron phobia or making these remarks that are insulting to the Hindu faith. And that's the reason why these questions are being asked.
Prathibha, first of all, a lot of these remarks that you talked about are remarks that the BJP and Sangh Parivar put places out of context, number 1. Number 2, I think the people of the country also now see through this facade. Let's get this thing very clear. There is no party in this country that would actively want to hurt Hindu sentiments, and forget for whatever moral, ethical, ideological standpoints they may have, simply for political.
So what is the context when you have opposition leaders, including Udayanidhi Stalin, who have made statements against Sanatan? Are you saying Sanatan being called a disease, there is a certain context to it? Are you saying Siddaramaiah saying, I'm scared of people with Tika, there is a context to it? What is the context?
Prathibha, let me please answer. First of all, the statement by Udayanidhi Stalin was condemnable. It was condemned by people in Congress party, and the Congress party is no longer in government with the DMK, number 1. Number 2, Sanatan word has a distinct connotation in the state of Tamil Nadu, but I don't want to get into that debate at this point of time. So, for the Siddaramaiah comment is concerned, those comments are usually made with regards to people who, in the garb of Hinduism, or who, with the veil of Hinduism, try to do acts that are not at all kosher. For example, you have these people identifying as Kamars. I don't like to believe that these people are Kamars. I believe a lot of them are goons. They just rammed through a vehicle. They smashed a vehicle. They lynched a man in public view in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. That happens in every year. I don't think these people represent the Hindu faith, but they do things in the name of the Hindu faith. Let's not get into that. My simple point remains.
Sanatan has a different definition. That's why the defense from DMK, saffron terror, has a different context. Ratan Shardaji, that's the defense. That everything is, there's a separate context to it. So just try to understand. Nikhil, I'll come to you just a moment. Let's hear a response, Mr. Ratan Sharda.
No, hold on. No. This is not done. Prathibha, no.
I'll come to you just a moment, Nikhil, because you mentioned the context. Okay. My apologies, Ratan Shardaji. Let's hear out Nikhil Jain, because he claims that everything has a context. Fine, go ahead, Nikhil.
Then please don't interject at the first sentence.
Go on. You said was a context when it's called a disease. You're saying that there is a certain context to it. All right, go ahead.
First of all, I am not defending whatever Udayanidhi Stalin has said. Let me make it very clear. My simple point that I want to make for your viewers is every single party, whether it is Samajwadi Party, Congress Party, RJD, their leaders are Hindus. majority of their voters are Hindus, they would be daft to make fun of Hinduism, which is for the simple reason nobody actually makes fun of Hinduism. What are we saying? Akhilesh Prasad a Hindu, Pappu Yadav a Hindu, Rahul Gandhi a Hindu, all these Hindu gentlemen were making fun of the Hindu faith, which is also the faith of the majority of their voters. Fact is, they were not making fun of Hinduism, they were making fun of the people who are stealing money from Hindus of this country, from the Ram Mandir, and let's not make it into a issue versus Hindu versus non-Hindu. It is an issue versus Chanda Chor versus those who are trying to stop Chanda
Okay,
Chor.
I'll come to that context as well. Ratan Shardaji, you were responding to Nikhil Jain, who claims there's a context to everything.
Well, Nikhil has heard half the time of the debate, and I think he's very happy today, being so articulate, so emotional, so outraged, that it really makes me feel that he has a day today. Good, enjoy yourself. But let me say that the way he keeps on mouthing inanities and fake and negative things and, false statements is horrendous. He said nobody insulted Hinduism, nobody insulted Hindu Dharma. He said Congress never criticized DMK's views. I'm sorry, I have been to all these debates. All these people sitting here have always defended them. Every act of defaming Hindu has been defended by these people, not even the people who actually did it. So now to come blandly saying nobody did it and we actually criticize them is biggest fraud on people's mind. People are foolish. Secondly, this drama of a Bahubali, a Don, who has so many crimes against him, somebody throwing a chappal, somebody throwing a knife, I think it's a drama, honestly speaking. But I think Hindus, as Tuhin rightly pointed, Hindus are very incensed, very disturbed that every opportunity is taken to insult them, to make a joke out of them. When he said that Bhagwa Dala to kya ho gaya, as Tuhin pointed, there was no sadhu there. There was no priest there in this particular scandal. They were employees. They were criminalized. They were picked up. They were jailed. Cases going on. They are flogging a dead horse. But when they say, no, we don't attack Hindus, there is a term called HINO, Hindus in name only. For Mr. Nikhil Jain, if he doesn't know this term, and these people take every chance in CJP, which was a case for education reforms. Where was the need to bring and abuse Hindus? Tell me. And it is the first time these people are doing the same thing that Bollywood did for years together, when Hindus were branded as the priests were branded who raped in the temple, who were funny, who were jokers, who were hypocrites. All that was done in Hindu films. That's what they are doing in Hindi films. And that's what these people are doing by bringing in Bhagwan into this. And when the case has already been registered, what have you done about the criminal acts against Hindus, firing Hindus, killing Hindus during Ayodhya Mandir? People who don't even want to go to Ram Mandir for years together, despite all the invitations. Tell me that they are only here for tamasha. Why they will make any kind of excuse? नहीं हम मंदिर क्यों नहीं गए? बीजेपी का मंदिर है क्या? RSS का मंदिर है क्या? भगवान राम का मंदिर है. They talk सीता किसकी, राम किसकी? They're joking. I mean, I am really surprising. They are making these things. Tell me, Nikhil, once in your lifetime, have you ever done this kind of skit for people in the frock, people in the topis who have been caught under corruption in Waqf board, in various churches? Nobody dare raise the question. Nobody talked about a priest who was charged with gender molestation. Nuns were molested. They resigned. They wrote books. They were hooted out of the scene, and not one opposition person stood with them. Where was your outrage during Sabrimala? When the whole golden statue was removed? No, sir, उसकी इंक्वायरी चल रही है. कम्युनिस्ट भी बचाएंगे, कांग्रेस भी बचाएंगे, यहाँ भल्ला मचाएंगे. This duplicity Hindus understand, and you will remain Hinos, you will remain hypocrites, you will remain falsehood multipliers, and remain who people hate Hindus, and they want to think, कि जात में बांट दो, माइनॉरिटी का वोट ले लो 15 से 30%, बाकी इनको जातों में बांट दो 15% आगे जीत गए. भैया हम भी तो बच्चे नहीं हैं.
That is taken.
Maybe new politics.
You're saying that when it comes to Sanatan or Hindu dharma, there's a certain leeway that's taken. Pooja Mishra, there is a certain limit that we've seen getting crossed time and again. When it comes to Sanatan, where was this concern? When the mandir was built, there were opposition leaders who were refusing to even visit the mandir, and now you have the opposition saying they're only trying to raise the issue of embezzlement.
Good evening, Prathibha, and good evening to fellow panelists as well. Okay, the opposition didn't go to the temple, Ram temple. Even Shankaracharya didn't go to Ram temple. Okay, it's fine. They didn't go. They are anti-Hindu. They are anti-Sanatani. They are anti-saffron. But the BJP and the Ratan, they both of them are, pro-Sanatani, pro-saffron, pro-Hindu. Then how come theft happened in the Ram temple? The skit was performed to demonstrate what happened in the Ram temple, and it is Nauranki, which is very popular here in Uttar Pradesh, and it has history of raising social issues only. Nauranki is performed to raise the issues which is flourishing around the Uttar Pradesh, and that was done. Why were you considering the skit as the person like Pappu Yadav was performing as sadhu? No. He was portraying Kalnemi. Who are the Kalnemi? Kalnemi are those people who portray that they worship Rama, they have faith on Rama. Rather, they don't have faith on Ram. They are indulged into doing miscreant things. They are doing mischiefs. That's what was happening in the Ram temple. The people in the trust were portraying that we are the Bhakt of Ram, and what they were doing, they were just indulged into furnism which happened in the Ram temple. If BJP spokesperson and the Ratanji are pro-Hindu, why their Hindu sentiment got hurt when an artist was performing in the form of Hanumanji when the rally of this BJP happened here in Uttar Pradesh in front of the national president of Nitin Naveen in Uttar Pradesh. At that time their sentiment didn't go hurt. When Sanjay Nishal, one of his allies, he said that Ram ji कैसे पैदा हो गए? क्या खीर खाने से बच्चे पैदा होते? I can't even repeat his word. How he insulted. The BJP spokesperson didn't got hurt. Even the Ratan ji didn't got hurt. Being a pro-Hindu, being a pro-Sanatani, being a pro-saffron, he didn't get hurt when Dinesh Sharma called Mata Sita as tissue baby. When our Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh called Hanumanji as Dalit, that didn't get hurt. And if you are so hard, you're so a pro-Hindu, have mania of saffron, then why you are not discussing what happened in the Ram temple in the parliament? And what SIT did you form? That the Supreme Court has to ask you to reform the SIT. And you're saying that, okay, the independent investigation is going on. No independent investigation is going on.
Okay, so Vandana, the issue being raised by the opposition, it is clear that it should be debated in the parliament. The government has not agreed. But the government says that SIT has been formed. That's the response of the BJP, that what happened was not right, and we have already formed an SIT. Investigations are going on. So why is the opposition again raking up the issue?
Pratibha, when I say this fake Sanatani, those who are very selective and have a double standard. When somebody is asking, somebody is protesting some way, then it hurts the sentiment of Sanatan. But when Hanumanji is dancing in front of Nitin Naveen and in rally, then it is not hurting to anyone. If they are so called Sanatani, Chanda Chor party, they are filing a complaint against the person, those who are asking the questions. If you are raising any issue in front of this government, you will be held liable. Even FIR will be filed against you. ED will reach to your house. And as far as this SIT is concerned, I'm asking you, in 2021, SIT was also formed when this Zameen Ghotala came out. तब भी SIT बना था. What happened to this SIT? There is no solution. आप कुछ भी कह लीजिए, इनके यहाँ से 10 ऐसे it's all about 105 SIT was formed yet, but no result has came out yet. चंदा चोरी जब होती है, they are claiming to be a big Sanatani. At the time of चंदा चोरी, कहाँ थी बीजेपी के सारे लोग? कहाँ थे RSS के सारे लोग?
Instead of getting offended at this skit, you're saying, respond to that जो सनातनी हैं, they should be offended by what's happening in Ram Mandir. The chori should offend you more than a skit in the parliament, because this was just to raise the awareness on the issue.
Prathibha, it's too rich for Tahir Hussein's party and Atiq Ahmed's party to sermonize, us of Hinduism. Of course we are outraged, because we have been involved with the movement for the last 3 decades. Have they once been involved with the movement, Ram Janmabhoomi movement? So their crocodile tears are very artificial. The moment the culprits are found and the moment the systemic changes are brought in place, they will disappear. And more than us being hurt, the skit was in such poor taste, it was so cheap that it is the people of this country who are hurt. You look at the sadhu groups who are protesting across the country. Are we in charge of the sadhu groups? We are basically taking those sentiments ahead because yes, we are invested in the Hindu community. Unlike them who have always burned the Hindu community, we will take those voices seriously. If sadhus, and by the way, even today, just a few hours ago, Pramod Tiwari, a very senior leader of the Congress, has made a very cheap jibe at Prime Minister Modi. You know what he has said? जब प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हो रही थी, मोदी जी की सीता कहाँ थी? What do they mean when they make such atrocious, such cheap remarks which are bordering on which clearly border on Hindu hate?
Okay, and Nikhil Jain, there is a certain pattern to it. This skit is one. Over just last week or so, there is also a TVK minister who has visited the Tirupati temple with the allies of the TVK. The left party is raising questions on why he is visiting the temple with a copy of the budget ahead of the budget session. Apart from that, you have VD Satishan, who made a personal visit to a temple, and there were groups that were even questioning his own personal visit to the temple, and finally he had to come out and issue a clarification that this is his personal faith, it has nothing to do with soft Hindutva.
Prathibha, that's the point with the opposition, that you have sections of the opposition that believe that any political leader should not profess his faith publicly because we are a secular country. At the same time, you also have a majority of the opposition leaders who do profess their faith publicly for the simple reason that they are public leaders, but they also happen to be Hindu. Whether VD Satishan visits a temple or somebody visits a mosque or somebody visits a church, that's perfectly all right. Of course, there is also a segment that is going to question that why should Chief Minister visit a temple or a mosque or a church, and that's perfectly all right in a democracy. I want to first answer Ratan Sharda ji when he says why was Nikhil Jain not so outraged when gold theft happened in Sabrimala. Mr. Sharda, you are free to go and look on the internet. I have raised my voice against the gold theft that happened in Sabrimala. The Congress party made it an important issue during the election. The Congress party is also now taking actions against whatever gold theft happened in the Sabrimala. Number one. Number two, you asked me where was my voice when embezzlement happens in the Waqf board. I have raised my voice against it. Embezzlement that happened in the Waqf board, and naturally because all the members of Waqf boards are Muslims across the country, until recently at least, I will in those people. Those people are thieves. Those people should be put to jail. I have no qualm saying that. If there is any sort of sexual misconduct or any financial misconduct that happens in any churches or synagogues or Jain temples or gurdwaras, people should be booked, put behind jail. That is how a democracy should function. But my simple point remains that all these organizations and people who are now raising their voice against insult to the Hindu faith by skit, where were they, as two of the previous panelists have also pointed out before me, where were they when somebody dressed as Lord Hanuman was dancing in front of a truck and Nitin Nabeen? Where were they when the Prime Minister was flying a kite shaped as Lord Hanuman? If they did not protest then, if they did not raise their voice against all of that then, it's very clear these are political groups that are acting only on the behest and instructions and orders of the BJP. I don't care what they identify themselves as. And so far as this skit is concerned, I will again maintain this is exactly as Pooja Mishra has also pointed out. These are people representing काल नेमीज. कल को तो बीजेपी आके बोल दी रामायण भी एंटी हिंदू है, क्योंकि वहां पर एक कोई व्यक्ति आए थे भगवा धारण करके, उन्होंने सीता मैया का हरण करा था, तो अब इन लोग को वो भी एंटी हिंदू लगने लगेगा. Just because somebody is wearing saffron clothes doesn't mean they represent Hindu faith. It can very well be people who are masquerading behind the Hindu faith to do all sorts of wrong things and wrongdoings that they want to do, which is exactly what the BJP did in the Ram Mandir. Okay. Now they want to talk about who fired at who. The person who ordered the firing on the car sevaks or HP workers, whatever you want to call them, that person was made chairman of the trust that constructed Ram Temple. Now they are going to talk about Mulayam ji. Mulayam ji is the same person who's been given a Padma Vibhushan by this Modi government. Fact is, BJP is embroiled in a bundle of hypocrisies. They don't have answers to the financial embezzlement that has happened in the Ram Mandir, and they want to make everything political and just hide behind a religious view. But the people of the country can see through nonsense.
Okay, Tuhin, respond to that.
Prathibha, one very simple pointed question to him. You can play out the bite of Pramod Tiwari today if you have. Will Nikhil Jain, who's so outraged, apologize for it? I was shocked when I saw that bite, when out of the blue. Pramod Tiwari is consciously making that innuendo. Modi ji ki Sita kahan thi? How can they get away with these cheap gimmicks every day? And like I mentioned, this is the fifth such innuendo. This is the fifth such cheap remark in the last 5 days. Will he apologize? That's all I want to know. You can go back 30 years. I can go back 30 years to show the history of Samajwadi Party. Will you apologize for Pramod Tiwari's cheap remarks today?
Nikhil?
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
Prathibha? See, first of all, I think if my friend Tuhin is as interested as in Hindu faith, he would know a simple thing. जब भी कोई व्यक्ति, कोई नर जजमान बन के एक यज्ञ में बैठता है तो जजमान के साथ उनकी अर्धांगिनी बैठती है, और अगर उनकी अर्धांगिनी नहीं बैठी है तो वो हिंदू धर्म के टेनेट्स का पालन ना करना हुआ. In other words, whenever a man sits on a yagya, his wife should sit beside him.
Okay.
If he does not, he is flouting the principles and tenets of the Hindu faith. So far as I know, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is married. He has a wife who is alive. She should have sat with Prime Minister Modi.
Being derailed in something completely different. Ratan Sharaji, we come back to the question of who is insulting Sanatan, with the opposition now raising every issue under the sun but refusing to speak about what has happened. And it comes back to it. Where were those who are offended by the skit when the embezzlement happened? Where were they when norms were allegedly violated during the consecration ceremony of the Ram Mandir? Is there selective silence from those who are claimed to be the saviors of Sanatan?
This question of where were they, etc., is actually totally useless question, because all of us were incensed, all of us criticized, all of us said something went wrong. And see, Ram Mandir embezzlement is not happening. It happened. There is a lot of difference. When these people very foolishly say Ram Mandir को लूटा जा रहा है, वो लूटा गया था, उसको रोका गया, उसके लिए नए कानून बने, नए ऑडिट के सिस्टम ने सबको निकाला गया, जेल में डाला गया. तो जो घटना हो गई उसको कंटिन्यूस में कैसे आप ले सकते हैं? सबसे पहले कंटिन्यूस की प्रोपेगेंडा को बंद करना पड़ेगा. दूसरी बात, ये निखिल जैन आते हैं यहाँ पर एनालिस्ट बन के, but he will not say that Congress never stood against church embezzlement, never against work embezzlement, never. I can challenge them for 12 years, 13 years. I am on the show from the time when these people say मंदिर वही बनाएंगे, तारीख नहीं बताएंगे, तब से मैं इनको जानता हूँ. So don't tell me these issues. Secondly, when you talk about Ravan, when Ravan came as a sadhu, was finally killed. That is the fate of your opposition parties. That is what's going to happen. And to keep on raising the issue of person who separated from his wife so many decades back, as if there has been no separation early in the life, why you keep on bringing the issue of a person who decided to leave the world for nearly 50-70 years back. उस माइनर था, शायद उस समय टीनेजर था, उसको अब ला के बार बार उठाते हैं. आपकी हिम्मत है किसी डाइवोर्स आदमी को बोलिए कि बीवी का है? आपका कहना मतलब क्या अकेला अगर कोई व्यक्ति होगा वो हवन नहीं कर सकता, यज्ञ नहीं कर सकता? आप कौन हिंदू की परिभाषा बताने वाले? आप कौन से ज्ञानी है?
Okay, so Pooja Mishra, is the issue now over? Ratan Shadaji said that there was story at Ram Mandir. Now that issue has been resolved because an SIT has been formed, investigations are going on, so the case is closed, or the issue is now over. There's no need for the opposition to bring it up again and again.
In the parliament, how come issue is over? It is a matter of fate of 120 crore of people of India, and you are saying that issue has over because it had the case went to the Supreme Court and tiny people has been picked up and put behind the bar. The big fishes are free to pass away. You have provided them a thin passage to pass away. And right before me, the author was speaking that कि तलाक ले लिया हुआ है क्या, उसको बोलने की आपको हिम्मत है क्या? Only the BJP has the right to utter unauspicious word to the fellow panelists or to the fellow members in the parliament. Our prime minister said to the fellow members of parliament, female members of parliament, that they are the Sapunka. You must be knowing what is who Sapunka was. And even the BJP leaders, a lot of leaders, 500 crore की girlfriend, ज़्यादा बच्चा पैदा करने वाले, there had been hybrid बछड़ा, there had been a lot of utter this bad words against the leaders of Congress and against the leaders of Samajwadi Party opposition. Only the BJP leaders have the right to utter those rubbish words. And if someone else asks about where is your Sita, it's so respectful. Why to take it in a wrong way? If someone calls your wife Sita, then definitely it means that you are Ram.
Okay, Ratan Shahdaji wants to respond.
Also as insult. How come you
My simple,
insult?
as I already said, he had separated. When you say, where is your Sita, you keep on bringing the same issue which was closed by himself decades back. Now, the most important part which everybody misses is Lok Sabha, the new street corner nukkad. Shant rahiye, shant rahiye.
Okay.
Shant rahiye. Control yourself. Control yourself. I am speaking. I have been asked to speak. Keep yourself.
Okay,
please
Pooja Mishra, hold
control
on. Let Ratan Shahdaji respond to that.
Very important point I'm making, that has Parliament Makar Dwar become the new nukkad, where you will stage dharnas, you will make natak, you will stand on the stair of the Lok Sabha with your hands in the pocket and joke about people who pass by. Is this the level of Lok Sabha we're trying to reduce? So they will not get in Lok Sabha, they will not debate in Lok Sabha. He says uska mic band kar diya. Mic kaun band kar raha hai? Khud band kar raha hai, सामने दिख रहा है आपको ऑडियो के ऊपर. आप सड़क के बाहर रह के, मकर द्वार पे रह के सड़क छाप काम करेंगे, नुक्कड़ नाटक करेंगे, लोकसभा में नहीं जाएंगे. क्या ये आपकी डेमोक्रेसी है? This is what you want to reduce status of Lok Sabha to nukkad natak? That is my question. Every session they come out on the street, sit on the staircase, make all kind of tamashas, but they will not go inside when somebody speaks.
Okay, so Nikhil Jain, respond to that. The parliament has been reduced to nothing but a joke with these skits being performed every day, a new protest by the opposition. Instead, why not debate in the parliament?
See, Prathibha, that is what I keep on saying. BJP and this entire ecosystem that supports the BJP is a bundle of hypocrisies, because this is a protest from 5 days ago. 5 days ago that the BJP did at Makar Dwar. So it is perfectly fine for the BJP to do protests at Makar Dwar, but somehow the opposition, the Congress, SP and other parties cannot do it. What is this ridiculous hypocrisy? And Mr. Sharda and Mr. Sinha have still not answered what are their views on somebody dressed as Lord Hanuman dancing in front of their party president, or
respond specifically to that. We're running out of time, but this question has been raised time and again. Why is it selective? I got your point, Nikhil. You raised it previously as well. We're running out of time. Toheen, a response on what the opposition has been saying. Is the BJP going to define what is an insult to Sanatan and what is not? There have been instances where BJP has been accused of the same.
No. Any insult by any member of BJP is condemnable. He's comparing Rahul Gandhi with an unknown Karyakarta. That is the problem. Rahul Gandhi is expected to be far more evolved than an unknown Karyakarta who may have insulted.
But it's not an unknown Karyakarta. It was right in front of Mr. Nitin Nabeen. A man was dressed as Hanuman with the BJP flag.
So that should not have happened. But you are comparing Rahul Gandhi. Is that the standard of Rahul Gandhi? That he will be compared with an unknown Karyakarta? I'm sure the person is not an office bearer, because otherwise you would have found out his name by now. But please don't reduce Rahul Gandhi to that level any which way. If you look at the skit also, Congress may not be worried about their Hindu phobia, but please think about the way Rahul Gandhi has reduced himself to a sidekick of Pappu Yadav in that entire drama. I think, for your dignity, for you to be taken seriously, you bring up the issue properly. We are open to debating anything. But if this is the way you reduce your own dignity, the country is watching. The country will punish you in the elections once again.
Okay, all right. The country is watching who's insulting Sanatan, and has Sanatan become an easy punching bag with the opposition now, thinking that it can get away with it? Again, the question remains. The opposition says it is the BJP. If there was no embezzlement, there would have been no protest, and then you wouldn't have seen this skit at all. That's a claim that the opposition is making. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave it at that.